What's this wicked sorcery going on in the sport of boxing right now? All kind of stuff going on. People hating on Jaron Ennis, Anthony Joshua. Man, maybe him and Tyson Fury may be getting greedy. Trying to head over to Saudi to fight because they don't have to pay taxes. Clarissa Shields got, she's selling products. She got this doll. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on with mega fights and big signings. But Jaron Ennis, man, it's a trip to listen to people talk about Jaron because they're doing him like they did Terrence Crawford, like they did Mayweather, and like they've done other fighters. That just lets you know that Jaron Boots Ennis has made it. When they start hating on you, it's because you reached a point in your career where the expectations have become enormous. And that's just the reality of being someone who many feel deserves to be on the pound-for-pound list, especially they're out here saying he deserves to be number 2. Right behind they owe you anyway. They're putting him above Bam Rodriguez. But I think when a fighter is climbing the rankings, I think fans celebrate every victory, 100%. But I also think they look at how you're winning. And there are people who just try to find a way to poke holes in your game, and they just don't want to give you credit. And Jaron Ennis is out here feeling like, they gonna hate. So I just got to do my thing. But when he said that, I'm like, it's not bothering him, but I think he should embrace it. But it sounds like he's thinking about it. I'm not going to say it's bothering him yet, but it's like it's happening to him. Same stuff they did to all the other great fighters. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you get a fighter who becomes one of the sport's biggest names. The conversation changes. The conversation often changes. Instead of them talking about, hey, is Jaron ever going to pass the eye test? They'll say, okay, well, he beat that guy. Yeah, he passed the eye test. He can fight. We'll give him credit to that. But let's be real, though. Who can beat him? It's like, what the hell? First you were saying, and myself too, I said, he passed the eye test, but he hasn't passed the real test. But now he passes the real test, and now you're like, okay, he's the real deal, but who can beat him? What kind of shit is that? Then you're like, yeah, but that was just one real test. Who's going to be the next one? He's not tested enough. I don't think he deserves to be pound for pound. How about this? Hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid with all this wicked sorcery. Man, leave Jaron Ennis alone. Oh, is he overrated? Or is it because Eddie Hearn just talks him up? It's all hype because he's in Philly. He's not fighting outside of Philly. Where did he just fight at? Did he fight in Philly just now? Somebody let me know. Because I don't believe he fought in Philly just now, did he? So y'all need to stop this shit and talking about who's going to expose him. I do think Sebastian Fundora is the kryptonite, not just to Ennis, to everybody at 154, if he fights tall. If he stays behind that jab, I just think it's hard for anyone to beat him. And even they'll say, that's a tough puzzle to solve. Because, the goddamn man got a wingspan like a pterodactyl. He's Fundora half dinosaur and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just think when you look at the pattern of fans and how they're going at Jaron now, it just happened, man, with a lot of the elite fighters, man. Crawford, Floyd, the list goes on and on. But when you're undefeated and you're dominant and you continue to win, especially the way Jaron Ennis is winning, and the other greats who are winning as well, fans stop admiring you. And all of a sudden, it's crazy how they just start looking for the opponent who can finally hand them a loss. I just think that's crazy. But that doesn't necessarily reflect dislike. That's just how the boxing fans are fickle and kind of fricked up from time to time. But I think it could be also like a fascination, man, of we see the greatness, but can it be challenged? Xander Zayas had a couple moments in there with Boots. And there are a lot of people who, they keep harping on that. But they're like, Zayas wasn't the one. Oh, he got lucky. It's because Boots let his guard down for a moment. So yeah, we give him credit. He's a unified champion at 154. Xander is a big, strong 154-pounder, but he was young and inexperienced. You see what I'm saying? We need to see who's going to test Jaron Boots in his greatness. So again, wicked sorcery. Y'all need to hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Now, I will say this, right? I'm gonna come. Let me just do it. I'll come back to Jaron Ennis because that Vergil Ortiz, that dude, I don't know about that guy. But let me just jump over to something real quick. I'll come back to it. You see, PBC and DAZN, y'all got to pay attention, man. PBC just hooked up with DAZN. So you can expect, now that they're on DAZN, I think top ranks with DAZN, De La Hoya is barely holding on. Everybody's on DAZN, man. So you can expect to have DAZN working with PBC to generate excitement for the PBC fighters, 100%. And I think, you get more frequent fights from PBC fighters, some interesting matchups, some must-see TV on DAZN. But I think if the fighters over at PBC can finally become more active, I think we'll see a lot of those major bouts, man, because they still have a lot of big-name fighters over there. And some of the bigger-name fighters were able to stay kind of active. Others weren't. But I just think they'll be able to get a sound schedule in place and start to distribute the fights. And I think that's a positive development for PBC fans and PBC fighters, more the fighters, because if they don't fight, they don't get paid. You know what I'm saying? Now, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Let me tell you this. These guys here, they're smart. They know that their fight, each of them are probably going to make over $100 million apiece. But see, Anthony Joshua fought Jake Paul out there in Miami, and he made over $100 million for that fight. But he had to pay taxes, almost half or more than half of that shit. So Anthony Joshua was like, man, I forget this bullshit big paydays where basically I'm giving up half of my money. He ain't trying to do that in America or in the UK. So if they fight in Saudi, for him and Tyson Fury both, you don't pay taxes. So if you get a $150 million payday, that whole $150 million goes into your bank account. You don't pay taxes. See what I'm saying? So they're talking about the fight being in the U.S., then at Wembley Stadium. Now there's a strong possibility the fight could end up over in Saudi Arabia. Now, of course, the people in the UK want to fight there, but these guys, okay, like UK fans, you want to fight, but we want our money. So I'm curious to see how they're going to sort all that out. One thing's for sure when it comes to Saudis, they've done a good job in kind of translating all the bad things with Saudi Arabia that deter people from coming there to now being more positive and having people see Saudi as a destination known for major marquee fights, And I just think with the financial considerations, AJ and Fury, they may end up going there, It is what it is. If you ask me what would I do, I think about the business factors, I think about the fans, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I love the fans that much. If I'm getting a $150 million purse and I got to give up $75 million to that, I don't know about all that. Fans just have to be pissed off at me. You better watch that shit on DAZN. Now, Adrien Broner, he out here. One more chance like Faith Evans and shit. Now, look, man, there's a lot of us rooting for AB just to get off the alcohol, put the bottle down, Wicked Genie in every bottle, put her ass back in the bottle. What was that? Britney Spears had a song, I'm a Genie in the Bottle. Put that Britney Spears back in the goddamn bottle. We don't need to see Broner out here all drunk and crazy, one big doll belly and shit looking like a big baked potato. Get yourself healthy, man, and do the business. But as far as coming back to the ring and trying to give the fans another title run, look, I'm rooting for AB. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for him. A lot of us have followed his ups and downs over the years. But if he's disciplined now and he wants to come back, we welcome it. He's got talent. But he also has a lot of miles on his body now, not from boxing, or not only from boxing, from that alcohol, man. Blame it on the alcohol. That's what he needs to blame it on, man. That shit takes years off your body. You see physically what it's done to him. You don't see what's going on internally. Someone said he had his gallbladder removed. The internet post bullshit. I don't know how true that is. But if he had a gallbladder or something removed from, abusing alcohol, and again, I don't know how true that is. I probably shouldn't be saying it because I didn't fact check it. Someone told me that in a comment or something. I was like, I don't know. But the bottom line is, if it hasn't happened, I think it's coming. Some kind of liver disease, heart disease. Something's coming. You can't keep putting that alcohol in your body, man. The body ain't made to fucking sit there and process all that, man, and filter out that liquor. Like, the liver can't withstand that shit. And it's years and years of him abusing himself. But to be honest with you, man, I think he needs significant preparation. I do. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, And I'm just being honest with you. Because he's done nothing but over the last few years and just cast that wicked sorcery all up in his mouth, that alcohol. So now he want to come back and want people to take him serious. I say good luck. But this shit about him only needing 6 months to fight Ryan Garcia, and in 6 months he would beat Ryan Garcia, to that I say, in the most respectful way, hey, yo, AB, we love you, we root for you, we're glad that you're yourself at all times, even though a lot of us don't like your antics and bullshit, but at least you are who you are. We know what to get. You're predictable. You're going to be who you are. But you're not beating Ryan Garcia. So don't get mad with me and don't get mad with other fans because we don't agree with your assessment of yourself. You can have 6 years of training. You can have all the steroids in the world. You can have the best of everything, eating grass-fed bison burgers and shit. It doesn't matter. You ain't beating Ryan Garcia at whatever weight. So stop. Was there a time you would have beat Ryan? Look, Broner always had good defense, good chin, hard to land cleanly on him. He'd see the Ryan Garcia hook coming. There was a time where I would say Broner would beat Ryan Garcia. But right now, no, and that ain't hating. Come on now. Let's be for real. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a whole nother matter as far as the assessment, man. The larger point, I think, is just that he seems to be focused, trying to rebuild, trying to be healthy, and now he seems to have cut out the alcohol. But let's see if he can stay consistent. Because there could be some kind of flare-up in his personal life or get some bad news as far as his professional career. And then all of a sudden he turns back to the Britney Spears, the genie in the bottle, and starts to rub it the right way. Now, back on Jaron Boots Ennis, man. Who should he fight next? Now, we thought he was going to fight Fundora, but Fundora's got to face a mandatory. Fundora's out of here. Then there was talk about Vergil Ortiz saying he's ready. His team is like just ready to sign today. They don't need a preparation because Vergil Ortiz has been in camp already. He's fight ready to fight tomorrow. That's what they say, right? But it looks like Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be fighting Josh Kelly, according to Eddie Hearn. And it's going to be a fight in the United States. Where, I don't know. They probably try to do it in New York again because the Philly contingent can come out. The people from the UK can fly over. And they probably get a really huge turnout. A lot of people are talking about, who wins, Ennis or Kelly. And a lot of people are saying Ennis is going to destroy him. I think he wins, but I'm just saying, Josh Kelly, he got something special about him. Olympian, movement, hits hard with both hands, got speed, got IQ. Murtazaliev, he did a good job against him, but he got away with some shit. Murtazaliev towards the end started to chop him down. But I just think, and actually I think I had Murtazaliev winning that fight or draw, something like that. But the bottom line is, that seems to be the next move. And I'm just looking and thinking about Josh Kelly as a possible opponent and Vergil Ortiz saying they want to fight. I'll be honest with you. Ennis, I think he should wait and see what happens with Zoo and Spence. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like Eddie Hearn's going to take him another direction because Eddie Hearn trying to keep that money in-house. And if Boots loses or Kelly loses, at least they lose to a Matchroom fighter and everything stays underneath Matchroom. But part of me feels Ennis should just chill in the breeze and then fight the winner of Zoo and Spence. But then again, they don't have titles. But I just think that's the move right there. Or maybe what's his name? Vergil Ortiz fights the winner of those guys. Ennis fights Kelly. And then, depending on what Fundora is doing, the winner of Ennis and Kelly go fight Fundora for undisputed because one of them will have 3 belts. Fundora has the other. And then maybe whoever won between Zoo and Spence, they have another fight, get another win. And then you just built towards them getting a shot, one fight, killing 4 birds with 1 stone. All 4 titles, you know what I'm saying? So who knows what they're going to do? But there's a lot going on at 154 right now. And but you all know the wicked sorcery is in full effect. Now, talk about some wicked sorcery. Jamal Charlo came out here talking about Caleb Plant, and he says he wants to get his lick back. But he did acknowledge that he was drinking. It was Mike Tyson had the room full of smoke and weed. Everybody was high, and he was acting a fool. He was disrespectful to Caleb Plant in front of his wife, grabbing on him, doing a lot of disrespectful things. And he said Caleb Plant slapped the shit out of him, and he deserved to be slapped. He just wished he would have stayed there and fought. But he says he wants to get his slap back. But he said he doesn't blame him. He said he was wrong for what he did with Caleb Plant and how he treated him and disrespected him in front of his wife. Caleb Plant had every right to slap him. And that's good. It shows growth. And all that means is Caleb Plant put a little bit of act right on him. That's it. He put a little bit of act right. Hit him with the AR and shit. Act right. Well, Jamal Charlo, you took it to the stupid. What you expect? Lucky Caleb Plant didn't kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? Out there playing stupid games with a man with his wife and family. You crazy. But anyway, man, that's what he wants to do. It doesn't sound like there's genuine tension there, but I will tell you there's enough interest for fans to come out and support if that matchup's made. Now, Gervonta Davis. Now, I don't know what the hell Gervonta Davis is doing. Is he coming? Is he going? Is he fighting? Is he not? But he called out Bam Rodriguez. I don't take it serious, but Bam took it serious and said, yo, we'll fight. We're ready to fight right now. His trainer, Robert Garcia, took it serious and said, nope, they did reach out. We're ready to make the fight right now. So this is just a money grab by Bam Rodriguez for him to jump up from, one, I don't even think the man is 120 pounds yet, right? Bubble all the way up to 135 or 140, or wherever they're going to be, the weight, whatever weight it's going to be. Maybe Gervonta comes to 130. I don't know. I don't think he does. But I just think that's just a money grab, and Bam need to be careful. But I don't think it's realistic. You just got to look at the weight class differences. It just doesn't make sense. But I think smart people get involved and say, look, weight classes exist for a reason. They're going to think about the competition. They're going to think about the money. They're going to think about the safety. And they're going to say this cross-division fights like this, we want to get behind it because you got two superstars, right? But at the same time, it may just generate a bunch of discussion, but they won't allow it to lead to an actual fight because, again, the weight difference, the power differential, so I don't think they're going to be casting the wicked sorcery on Gervonta Davis and Bam Rodriguez. Now, one thing I do think is going to happen is Shaki Foster and Emmanuel Navarette. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be one of the year's, I think, most compelling stylistic matchups. Sounds like they're already in early negotiations. If they can finalize that fight, I'm telling you right now, that shit's 50-50. Everyone has a distinct set of strengths. I'm not saying Oshaki is better than Navarette or Navarette's better than Oshaki. I think it's 50-50. But I do tell you, if you say, hey, Hood, I'm going to chop off your foot, have you hopping around like Kunta Kinte, unless you pick somebody. I may roll with Foster. That's just me. But I'm telling you, I think it's a 50-50. So we'll see what happens. Now, talking about seeing what happens, Andy Ruiz. Now, y'all know who Andy Ruiz is. He's the guy, who beat Anthony Joshua. Because other people don't know him for much of anything except knocking out Anthony Joshua. Now, for those of us who follow boxing and been following Andy Ruiz back when he didn't have no facial hair, bald-headed, little fat, pale-skinned Mexican kid on the screen, and you're like, who's this little fat fucker coming on here? And then you see him fight, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this cat can crack. He's got fast hands. And you realize with the quickness, this MF can fight. Anyway, he's back. And he has an opponent too, man. They're going to be announcing it here in the next couple of days, but he signed a deal with Matchroom. He is signed to Matchroom now. So there you go. And I think it's good that he signed with a Matchroom, because when I found that out, I ain't going to lie, that sparked optimism on my end about him, his future, staying active, getting big fights. And I think that's good for him. He's been inactive for a while. He had some personal ups and downs, but seemed to have his career back on track. And I think he'll return to regular competition. There's a lot of activity in the heavyweight division. As long as he can stay active, Andrew Ruiz gives everybody a problem. Everybody. He's got a chin, he can fight. But it makes you wonder, man, if he got them silk pajamas, because all the millions he's made. The man made over 20-something million when he fought AJ across both fights. You say, how you know that? Because I'm friends with one of the promoters who has a couple of boxes underneath him, and they know Andy Ruiz, and they talked to him about it. So the first fight, he didn't get paid shit. That second fight, he got paid dough. So Andy Ruiz, I don't know what kind of money he has now because he spent a lot of money on bullshit. But he made dough for that AJ fight. I'll put it to you that way. Now, Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields went and had this merchandise live stream selling all kind of shit. Talk about wicked sorcery and full EFFECT. Got the whole goddamn internet ablaze. Talking about her again. But not about Papoose and Remy and her car and her necklace and her Louis Vuitton and her Gucci and her coochie and like nobody talking about none of that shit. The merchandise. Look, man, I ain't knocking Clarissa Shields. I think she should hustle. I'd say, yo, get your money. But I'm just telling you, man, when you see the stuff that she's selling, let me see if I can pull this up for you. And she can do what the hell she wants. I actually think it's a good thing that she has product. I do. I agree with it 100%. She should have product. She should be selling it. This is something she should have been doing a long time ago, in my opinion. But to see just kind of what she has going on right now, I don't know if this is the answer. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, because I ended up. I'm gonna show y'all for those who didn't see it. I just don't know if this is the answer to move she making. Let me see something here, and I'm gonna say that because one, she was doing it out of her house. The boxes were just open. It didn't seem structured. It didn't seem that she really had a plan. It was like she was just hot winging it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see something here. And the bottom line is it just rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, turned a lot of people off. You know what I'm saying? But for Clarissa Shields, she can do what she wants. But with her next fight, look, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what she's doing for her next fight. I'm trying to find this thing, but I don't want to waste too much time on it. I don't know what she's doing with this next fight in K. Scott. And is she focused the way she needs to be? Is she distracted? I have no idea what she's doing. I know she's cutting weight. But that merchandise, just get your website. You know what I'm saying? And then just post your stuff there. But I'm looking at the quality. Single stitch hats. She had a bobblehead that doesn't bobble. She just had a lot of things going on there, man, that I just don't think she got the reaction she wanted. So as a result, everybody's wondering about, what kind of money she has. You know what I'm saying? Does she have 8, 10, 20, 30 million the way she always out here bragging? Or is she really down around 80 cents? Excuse me. Or is she more around 80 cents? I don't know what her story is. But to me, she need to be focused on boxing, not out here selling this merchandise. And if you're going to sell some kind of product, sell something where it's attractive, put a little more thought into it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just come out here and rush it and hot wing it. Like, that's just not what you should be doing. This is some of her merch right here. See the GOAT merch? It goes the sweatpants. So she out there trying to sell her little merch, man, but it just didn't. She got hats and all kind of stuff. It just didn't hit the way she was hoping it would hit. But, good luck to her. You know what I mean? There go the water bottles that she's selling. You know what I'm saying? There goes the doll that she's selling. Let me see. Y'all need to look at this doll. That's the bottle. This is the doll. Let me go right here. Let me go back. That doll is what really got people out here talking. Okay. Where is it at right here? What? That's the doll right there. This is what got people talking because she wants 3-pack for 80, 2-pack for 60, water bottle for 10, buy my fight ticket, $10 off. I mean, what is she doing? You know, what is she doing here? Look, I'm not trying to knock anybody's hustle, but I'm just saying, come on, you want us to take you serious? Big $30 million woman. What are you doing? And I'm gonna tell you, if I'm sitting on 30 million, hood champion not gonna be out here selling that. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with making money. Nothing wrong with having more money. I'm not saying that. But if you're sitting on 30 million and you get you a better product and set it up to where somebody else is running that shit or you run it behind the scenes. You there giving people your Cash App, your Zelle. I mean, that's a lot of your personal information. That's certain things I wouldn't want anybody to know. Your Cash App is linked to your bank account. So anyway, people have a tough time taking it serious. And I understand why, you know what I'm saying? But she gonna do what she wants. So some are praising her, saying, oh, she's engaging with fans. She's trying to be pleasant. Y'all complaining. She promoting her brand. If she was doing something negative, then y'all will be complaining about that, like the girl just can't win. But this shit about her being an athlete and this direct-to-consumer sale bullshit is just beyond comprehension. Y'all understand? Like, it's just ridiculous, man. But she might as well be out there selling that shit at the barbershop, just like the bootleg guy with the DVDs and CDs back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Walk up in the barbershop, you're trying to get your hair cut. They're trying to hustle while you're getting your hair cut. You there like, hey, what you got, man? Show me what you got. You're getting your hair cut, and they thinking around your ear, and you looking, and you're all right, let me get them 2 DVDs, or let me get them 2 CDs. So let me get them goat dolls and water bottle, you know? Anyway, good luck to her and whatever she's doing, but, every day is something else. And we talk about Clarissa Shields. But that being said, always some wicked sorcery when it comes to boxing, man. And there's going to be more later today, and I'll be talking about it tomorrow. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.